Balin. Marty Balin, a legend in the history of rock and roll. Marty, where have you been for the last 20 years, man?
I've been legendizing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are just sounding great. What's
you
happening?
been?
I've been around.
Yeah?
I'm doing light shows again.
Oh, yeah, I know. We gotta get together and work again.
I'd love to do that.
That'd be fun.
But let me ask you something. What's your message now compared to what it was 20 years ago? Same thing or what?
Same thing. The planet just entered the harmonic convergence on the 16th and 17th of August.
Somebody's cruising around.
And that's the beginning of the Age of Light. You know, it started in the 60s. That was the pregnancy of it. And then it was born on the 16th and 17th of last month.
Osmar.
So anybody whose feet is on this earth, anywhere, is feeling a change of consciousness, and that makes me feel very good.
So do you still relate to the 60s at all? I mean, this is a sort of an anniversary, a celebration of 20 years of what's going on today. Do you relate to what's happening back then today? What kind of an impact do you think that you made and your music made back then that's happening now?
We'll have a much better time.
I couldn't really put it in a historical perspective without thinking about it, you know.
Has your music changed?
So everybody take this moment.
My music has, yeah.
Excuse me, Paul Kantner, we're doing an interview here. Do you mind just waiting a few minutes? Thank you.
Yeah, how you doing, Dr. Rigney? How you doing?
You want to step in? Step in here.
He's responsible for some of me.
Camera's behind you. Come over here.
The secret.
Paul Kantner from KBC has joined us. Paul, I want to talk to you as
Who are we
well.
talking to besides you?
We're talking to Marty.
No, I mean out
This is Paul Marty Balin.
Cameraland.
Right there. We're talking to the whole world. What is your message today? You had a message 20 years ago.
We never knew what our message was. We just got to play music and talk about what's going on.
So you leave it up to the public to determine
You
what the
can't tell
hell's
anybody
happening?
what's going on. You just try to entertain them and make them feel good and give them a few ideas to think about.
Let's make a connection
The
between...
first song we did?
Yes, I did.
That was our message.
There you go.
Let's make a connection
Special
between 1967 and 1987.
Did the last song we did?
Yes, I did.
That was our message.
So your music is your message?
Did you hear the third song we did?
No.
That was our message.
Oh, I missed that one.
You gotta listen to the word.
What is the connection? The 60s and the 80s?
You're still alive, aren't you?
Yes. What have you done then that impacts now?
7 and 9 years old.
It's a serious kind of question.
Yeah, this is a serious
This is
interview.
San Francisco,
This is
man.
worldwide. They're going to play this in Moscow. I need to ask you these questions.
Viva la Moscow.
Yeah.
Right over here.
How's your music changed in 20 years?
I have no idea. It's on the records. We don't categorize our music.
So in other words, you don't like to talk about
A
it?
little more in tune, and we like to play it.
But Paul, you've been political the last few months, a few years.
No, not really.
Is that any-
Anti-political, I would call
Is
it.
that any relationship to your music?
Well, you deal with
What you've
life
been
around
saying
you.
on the radio.
You deal with life around you. What's life around you? That's not politics, that's life.
Okay.
People in politics are embarrassingly forlorn of any virtue or morality that I could find. And the people in the crowd out there are the people who are this country or any country, and that's the ones that have to take control of things.
Absolutely.
And they are. It's a hard fight, but the struggle in that fight makes us all better. Whether you win today, tomorrow, or next year, or like Sandino in Nicaragua 53 years after his death.
Hold on. What?
Good, that's a sign from the gods. I can't answer questions like that.
No, that's fine. Whatever. There's no right wrong. Change tapes.
My kid is watching.
You rolling?
At 67, we were
Answer it any way you want.
up here for president.
What is the most important thing that you, or do you think our society, the counterculture, did in the 60s, in that decade, that era, that is applicable now to what's happening now in the 80s?
Questioning.
I have nostalgia for the future, says my friend Steve.
Keep your mind open and question people, and don't take shit. Don't take authority for granted.
On behalf
Do you think
Question authority bumper sticker, you know that?
Do you think the establishment has changed in 20 years?
Of course. Many of them are now us. And many of us are now them. And the swirl goes on.
So do you think there's going to be this constant sort of tension between us and them?
Until there's a major change in the DNA code, yes, there's probably going to be a lot of conflict in the world, and you ought to learn to deal with it positively.
So it's nice that we're still us.
deserve your applause.
All right. Thanks, Paul.